creativity. We get free, be me, work it effortlessly. Do what you love and then allow the prosperity. You got this. Make good, make it your own. You know you got the power in your mind, heart, body, and soul to grow dreams, grow faith, grow you. Create authentically in the garden of good. Live, and love. In a garden gonna dig big and trust. In a garden gonna create, elevate, celebrate, and love. Into the garden. Hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the garden. Oh my gosh, I have been so excited all day to see you and to welcome you back into my space here in Asheville, North Carolina. And it's been quite a few days for this country and for, I know we've got some Canadians who come as well, but so I'm just going to presence the awareness of a lot of shifting vibrations going on. And tonight's going to be a beautiful way to sort of process everything and make good of it, right? That's what we're doing here at the Garden of Good. So the first thing I want to do tonight for us is pray. How do you feel about that? So I invite you to just take a moment, take a breath with me, and close your eyes. And just right here and right now, I know that there is a divine creative intelligence that is present in all things. It is expressing as each and every person here in the Garden of Good, and it is expressing as me. And I know that tonight is a night of joyful connection and abundant ideas and processing that takes us another layer closer to the essence of the truth of who we really are, which is God, which is good. And so I know for each and every person here, a flow, a vibration of watery okayness, like a peaceful vibration that's going on inside of me that is reflected in everyone here. And I'm so grateful for each and every person here, so grateful for this time together. And I know that this time is good. I call it good. I name it good. And together we say, and so it is. And so first of all, I just want to, say shout out to my book. Yay. This whole idea came to me because of my book, which was basically this concept of taking all of my art and all of my music and putting it in one place for my fans and my friends and my family and myself, just to have a place to look at it and make good of it. And it seemed to be that theme of alchemizing, which is always my favorite idea of spirit, the constant alchemizing that is happening, the up-leveling that is always unfolding as life, yes? And sorry about that, I just missed it. And this is going to be a full year. I'm dedicated to this for a full year, to go through the book, and each week we'll use a prompt, and we're going to also separate it into these areas: heart, mind, body, soul. Now we're all using all these areas all of the time, but this sort of time of winter, this start of this year, it's all about the heart and opening the heart and finding our heart's desires. That's what we've been doing, all the stuff that we've been doing. Also this idea of roots and fruits. So I picked my root. Every quarter we'll pick a different root, a different spiritual quality or different understanding that we want to create more of. And then we will pick fruits as well, which the roots are the inner goals, right? So mine, for instance, is peace. I've said it many times, and I have had many opportunities to practice that this week. I cannot tell you, it's so funny because my water heater went out this week, and it's the week of water, of course, because that's the way spirit moves in my life whenever I'm doing something creative. And then the fruits is the outer goal. And as you know, I have been working on a dollhouse, which is going to be also my second book, which all these things are unfolding that for me, during the mind section for the second 3 months that we're together, I'm going to be writing this book called The Dollhouse Chronicles, all about how healing this has been to do this dollhouse. And so as you think about your root, and if you don't have one yet, Just take a moment to pick one for today, something that you want to cultivate in this hour and a half together. Just think of it. Take a moment to think of what you want to cultivate. Take a breath. And let's know together and say this together, this affirmation. I make good. Say it with me. I make good. I am good. I cultivate joy.
Cultivate joy.
I cultivate love. And I cultivate peace is for me. You get to choose what you cultivate. Yes? Also, just wanted to presence the awareness of my little Harry Potter idea, which was the Sky Weavers, Stone Blooms, Emo Flow, and Cinder Wicks, which is just really just fun. And I think we're all of these elements. But I know this week, whoosh, I've been in emo flow for sure. I've been so emotional over this water heater. It's silly, but you know, it's triggered a bunch of different stuff that I've gotten to work through, but always keeping in mind my root, right? Which is peace. So I hope that you've been practicing your root all week. Yes? All right. So before we get started here with everything that I have lined up for us, let's just remember kindness first. I think that's obvious. And this is such a high consciousness group that I don't even have to say it, but I just, I want to presence it because kindness is really important, of course. And then joy, which the acronym for joy is just open you. Allow yourself to use these processes to open yourself to a greater joy tonight. And of course, Gardener's choice, which is do as much or as little as I say. It's all up to you. You get to create your own reality. You get to create as much or as little as we do. Camera optional always, and confidentiality, just because I like to say the word cunt because it's my ministry and I can do that. So all that to say, I still want to ground down a little bit more. I'm going to ask you to just take some deep breaths and just get prepared for this night of water. And the minute I saw that we were talking about water tonight and the essence of water, I thought of Georgia Winfrey. Georgia Winfrey is a dear, dear friend of mine who at a very late age in life began to surf and dive, and now she's living in Hawaii. So I said, will you send me some footage and I'm going to make a video for you. So just take a moment here. This is going to be like an open-eyed meditation just to kind of get in the mood for tonight, the mood for water, the mood for processing, the mood for going with the flow. So here is Georgia Winfrey. And at the end, you'll see it says on the screen to take a deep breath so you can see this video very well. And here is this little nugget of love. It's only like a minute long. Enjoy. What is the shape of water? 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 It is the shape of me. It is the shape of me. It is the shape of me. The shape of me. As tears come down my face, tears come down my face, mixing with the salt of the ocean, with the salt of the ocean, with the salt of the ocean, with the salt. I ponder the seasoning of a life. Ponder the seasoning of a life. They say that 67% of us is water. They say of us is water. 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 Am I the shape of water? Am I the shape of water? Am I the shape of water? Am I breathing? Am I the mist? Am I the mist of the infinite? 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 And I love it. And I have that we're going to read from the book next, but so I'll just read a little bit from the water piece. And I wanted to say something about the book. The book has a lot of personal stories and stuff like that in it, and spaces for you to write. And every week I'm basically using the prompt for whatever how I decide that we're going to do the week during the week. And then during the week you can fill out the pages and do the gratitude and whatever it is. But we don't have to do with the actual book during our time here together. So I'll just read from the water. If you don't have the book, I have a dot painting in the book there, and I write about water. I say I'm a double water sign. Both my sun and rising is in Cancer. I don't know if anybody doesn't understand what that means, but it means I'm very emotional, very sensitive. It's a water sign ruled by the moon, emotional, moody, in the flow. My moon sign is in Aquarius, which is an air sign, but it's called the water bearer. So I've put myself in the water column my whole life. Maybe sometimes we do that too much, too many boxes. Astrology is fun, but what does it really mean, right? And then I proceed to tell you like a really stupid story about water because it was the first thing that came to my mind. And this book is all about stream of consciousness, writing what comes to your mind when you think of water. But tonight I want to take this idea of water and I want to do two different creative projects. The first of which is going to be drawing. So I want you to go ahead and get out your blank piece of paper and some markers and just breathe with me. I'm so glad that y'all all came and made it back. I know there's something going on with the Zoom room. I don't know why. But so, water, flow, allow. Water, flow, allow. Say it with me. Water, flow, allow. Allow, allow. So I want you to take a blue, a light blue, and everything that I do, you can do what I do, and you can also make it your own. This is just like group doodles, right? So I'm going to take my light blue, I have a thicker one on the side here, and I am just going to start to create a waterfall, okay? So what I do is I make a center here. So this is the waterfall. So start your center and then just allow your marker to just do what it wants to do. Make sure that you have a buffer page in there. And then I'm going to do like some purples and some other blues, just over and over again. And as I do it, I'm going to be thinking allow, allow, flow, allow. I allow. And for me, I'm going to think of my root. I allow peace. Whatever your root is, think on that. Maybe even make some water that's shooting up when it hits the ground there. Pick as many different blues, purples as you have and just layer it. I have a little metallic one here. This is just my water, my little waterfall. Comes down in all different shapes. Just breathe as you do it and allow yourself some space just to kind of relax as you do this. When you feel like your waterfall is nice and good there, I want you to pick a color and I want you to write the word allow. However you want to write it, allow. And I'm going to doodle on that word a little bit with some different colors, just maybe highlight the sides if you want, or add some dots, make it your own. And then I'm also going to add at the base of my waterfall some flowers, because as I allow the spirit of whatever it is that I'm cultivating, which could be energy, peace, sweetness. I've seen so many good roots from you guys. Energy, creative, conscious creativity, whatever it is, just you're blooming those things as you put your consciousness on it. You can make a different color flower. I'm gonna make a purple flower down there too. This is a really bad purple. I'm already wearing my markers out. And then after you do that, you can take your green and you can sort of make your stems of your flowers. And, this is growing out of the rock or whatever that's near your waterfall. This is, again, just thinking about your word, your root, cultivating it with creativity. Allow yourself to feel the peace that's in this room. I can feel all of your energy. It's very peaceful. Come back up and add some green to your allow if you want. Maybe just showing yourself like what you want to do here. Just let yourself be a little bit free. I add some green to my waterfall. I don't know why. I just felt like it. And then as our final little part of this doodle, because we're going to add some words too, is at the very top or on the side or somewhere, make your sun. Make your sun. And make your sun come up over all of it. Just fill the page with your sun, which is the light of love, the light of joy, the light of peace. Really just allow yourself to really just ruin your yellow marker. Excuse me for snorting. Take another yellow. I'm giving it some different colors of yellow in there. Do something to your sun if you want. Make your sun fancy. I'll give you another minute. And if you're not doodling and you're just watching, that's also very meditative. I love to watch videos of people drawing and people doing things like this. I always love to add a little black to give things, some more depth. And then on this doodle, what I want you to do is I want you to fill the sides here with some stream of consciousness about your root. I'll show you the one that I did to give you an idea. So this was the first one that I did. I wrote, I allow peace to move through me easily. I am peace. I flow. I am okay now. Like that was it just came out of me. So this is my new one, and I'm going to see what comes through here for me, and you take your time. I'm going to watch you for a moment. See where you're at, how you're doing. So, what just struck me as we were doing this, as we're talking about this, we're about to do the map lighting for my partner. So, you can come on in here, AJ, if you're listening. She's in the other room listening to us right now. And what struck me when you were talking about wonder was that we are going to wear off on each other. If we really do this for the year, if you guys commit to a year of this with me and we keep hearing about our roots every week for 3 months, if I'm hearing about wonder, I'm hearing about joy, I'm hearing about flow, I'm hearing about abundance, I'm hearing about creativity. What is going in, right, is affecting you. What you consume affects you. What comes in your mind, what comes in your ears, it affects you. Yes? Can I hear an amen? All right, so check it out, you guys. I'm going to turn off my lights and I'm going to show you what I've been up to. AJ, ready? Drum roll, please. You can turn the light off. Here we go. And so I had this like brilliant idea. I found this map at the Goodwill and I cut it out and I did a little collage, right? And I drilled holes. I didn't drill the holes. My beautiful partner. Come say hi, AJ, to everyone. Wave. Wave to the camera and show us your drill. Hey. So I figured this would be the point where we tell where we're watching from. And that way, if we don't have a hole somewhere, I'll tell you what we have, okay? In fact, one of the things I wanted to do with this because I thought it would show up more, but it kind of doesn't show up that well. But what I thought is that as we added the lights, that we might take a moment to visualize light. Surrounding that area with light. Yes? Are you willing to do that with me? Sunshine and rain. Who loved that song? Anybody? Okay. So, as I said, this week is water. This week was a big, big, big shift in our country's leadership. And so we've got a lot to process. And what came to my mind today as I was thinking about what to share was this wonderful writing from the Prophet by Khalil Gibran. And I'm going to just read this. Then a woman said, "Speak to us of joy and sorrow." And he answered, "Your joy is your sorrow unmasked, and the self-same well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. And how else can it be? The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Is not the cup that holds your wine the very cup that was burned in the potter's oven? And is not the lute that soothes your spirit the very wood that was hollowed with knives? When you are joyous, look deep into your heart, and you shall find it is only that which has given you sorrow that is giving you joy. When you are sorrowful, look again in your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. Some of you say joy is greater than sorrow, and others say, nay, sorrow is the greater. But I say unto you, they are inseparable. Together they come. And when one sits alone with you at your board, remember that the other is asleep upon your bed. Verily, you are suspended like scales between your sorrow and your joy. Only when you are empty are you at standstill and balanced. When the treasure keeper lifts you to weigh his gold and his silver, needs must your joy or your sorrow rise or fall. I just think that's one of the most profound readings ever. And it's the first time I read this was for Tim Hepburn's celebration of life. And it became very clear to me that when we lose someone, it's only the joy. It's only the joy that creates the sorrow. And so as we come into this idea of water tonight, this idea of being water, being the mist of the infinite, as Georgia Winfrey so beautifully put it. Allow the flow of life as you allow all of it. As we make good, it doesn't mean that we feel happy, happy, joy, joy all the time. And we're going to discuss that more as we go into our crafting project. That's going to be really fun tonight. And allow the gentle healing truth. You know, the truth hurts, they say, right? Well, does it have to? Can we allow the gentle healing truth? Just to speak to what's going on in our nation, there is so much sorrow, but there is also people rejoicing. And what I will say is that I lean toward those who feel scared and kind of fucked up about what's going on. But I also know that you cannot stop progress. And progress is still happening. And we are that progress. We are that awareness of truth, of inclusion, of love, of wholeness. And we hold the high watch, yes? And we continue to hold the high watch. I found this week from John Rodell, the poet, that is he's extravagant. He's incredible. He's exquisite. He is alive today, and I think we will look back at him being one of the great poets of today. He wrote this: "When I'm caught between a rock and a hard place, let me be water. Let me be water. Let me be water." That is your tiny, tiny, tiny talk. And I am also going to share with you my dollhouse update. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you this little video that shows you what I've added, which is this little mirror for the door, because the door to my dollhouse is all about looking within. This first room is going to be the room of sweetness and innocence, and kind of like the Garden of Eden with lots of peaceful sweetness energy. Then this is going to be the room of possibility. Just sharing with you my fruit. This is kind of a mess right now, but it's so cool to see the creative process, you know, as it goes. And right here, you've got New York City, because that's part of me. And the second floor here, which is in construction, is all about my inner fantasy, my inner baggage, my inner rebel, my addictive tendencies, my wanting to risk or wanting risk and reward, fantasy, the fantastic, some painful memories, honoring them, leaning into them, not pushing them away, but allowing them. I'm just kind of sharing the process. I found these little doll houses that are going to go in the dollhouse, sort of the house within the house within the house, the story within the story. And then the top floor is going to be my highest self and my ego. And I'm really enjoying creating this. I found a little treasure box this week in the thrift store, and the golden pine cone, which will be ultimately the journey of my dollhouse, will be from acorn to pine cone, which is, I believe, the journey. So this is the beautiful mess of my dollhouse right now. And I know that this is my fruit for this first 3 months. I hope you enjoyed that. And now we're going to move on to another creative expression. But before we do that, we are going to shut the lights out and show our AJ. Oh no. Will you shut the light off? I want to show them all the full lit up. Oh, look at that. That's where we are. Breathe that in and allow that energy of goodness. All of you have decided to send good energy out. And that is fucking cool. That is really cool. Okay. Thank you, honey. All right. Now, this next thing we're going to do, when the darkness rushes in, it's going to take a minute, and the loneliness begins, we're going to have a breakout session. Learning, 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 all the things I'm learning. Okay. For this, we are going to make a lotus. And I'm really excited about this. And I've done it twice, and it's not a super, super easy one, but it's going to be very process oriented. So, what I want you to do is pick 2 colors for your lotus petals. Now, let me tell you what these petals represent. There will be 8 petals that represent your tears of joy, and 8 petals that represent your tears of pain. Okay, so pick out. For me, my tears of pain are going to be blue, and my tears of joy are going to be purple. I always think of divinity when I think of joy. So when you picked your colors, let me know and we'll move on. Has everybody picked their colors? Yeah? Okay, so we can start with either one, but what we're going to do, here, I'm going to move this, give it a little bit more, give you a little bit more view of this. What we're going to do is we're going to take this long ways and we're going to fold it over once. I call that, just so you know that I call that long to short. So we're going long to short, then we're folding it over. Then we're going long to short again, folding it over again. And we're doing it one more time, long to short. Okay, got it so far? Then we're going to take our pen, any pen is fine. Oops. And we're going to draw as big as you can fit on there, a teardrop. Make it nice and fat at the bottom and nice and, this is a teardrop, okay? And then, actually, let's do that with our other color as well. So we do everything at once. So folding over once, then folding over again. Nothing has to be perfect. And then folding over again. And then drawing our teardrop. These are our tears of joy. And now we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut out the tear and just enjoy the process of cutting. Take your time. Doesn't matter if you cut directly on the line or not, because we can use the other side of it, you know? You don't have to see that side. You see what we're doing? And then just set them aside. And take your scraps, put them in the scrap bucket. I saw some really cool scrap buckets out thrifting this week. And then take your tears of sadness. Cut those out. Thanks for hanging out and crafting with me. Creative processing, crafting, creating our lives, making good. More scraps, put them away. Is everybody with me? Okay, so you should have 2 sets of 8. And now kind of comes the processing time, where I'm going to ask you to take your 8 tears of, let's say, grief. I'm going to use the word grief and sadness, and just lay them out, sort of acknowledging grief. And what I'd like you to do is, on half of them, I'd like you to write your root. So for instance, I'm going to write the word peace on 4 of them, okay? So on the 4 that you write your root on 4 petals, and then on the other 4, I want you to write 4 things that you are currently grieving. And it's okay. Allow yourself to honor those things, to think of those things. If you need to take a moment and close your eyes to think, what am I grieving? What am I letting go of right now? Sorry, I'm grieving my water heater. When you're done with your tears of grief, put those aside. And we want our tears of joy to also, 4 of them, also have that same root. Your root, 4 times. As you write it, allow whatever feelings are coming up, just allow them. And then here's kind of the fun part. Can you think of 4 times when you have experienced tears of joy? Tears of joy. Write those down. Breathing into that, just breathing into that. Okay. Now, are we ready to move on, or do we need another minute? 1 more minute, okay.
When the darkness rushes in and the loneliness begins, I can't live inside my skin. When the final curtain calls and the echoes fill the halls, I don't wanna be here at all. So lift me up out of this day and take me in your wings. Lift me up out of this pain. I need to hear the angels sing.
And I'm going to make a circle about 3 inches diameter, 4 inches. And I'm going to cut that out. Everything you're doing, try to bring to mind your root, the essence of what you wish to create. Thanks, everybody, for having fun with me like this. Now, this is where it gets kind of interesting and where I'm probably going to play my song for a minute, because what you need to do is you need to turn these into lotus petals. So I'm going to take my sadness and I'm going to put it in the center, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take like three at a time, or about three at a time to do the curling. What you're going to do is you're going to take your pen and facing the whatever you've written up, take the bottom and you're going to roll it up, right? And then take the top and you're going to roll it out and back. Again, you're going to take the bottom and roll it up, and the top and roll it back. And this is just making your petals that are going to be your lotus petals, okay? And then you can put them aside. And I'm going to play the song while we do our rolling. And as you roll, I want you to think about these things that you've shed tears over, good and bad. Do all of them.
When the darkness rushes in and the loneliness begins, I can't live inside my skin. When the final curtain calls and the echoes fill the halls, I don't wanna be here at all. So lift me up out of this day and take me in your wings. Lift me up out of this pain. I need to hear the angels sing. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I cannot get out.
Again, rolling up from the bottom and then over from the top. Just creating your lotus petals. If you do them one at a time, you can really focus upon the thing that you're cultivating. Bring it to your mind, bring it to your heart. Allow the feelings. Allow the essence of it. Singing brings me tears of joy sometimes. Can't wait to hear about yours. I may have gone too fast. But what you're going to do next is you're going to start to glue these down. And how I've done it is, you can do it any way you like, but how I did it was I put my sadness in the middle, just to kind of, I put my piece in the middle, right? I just made a big glob of glue stick, and then I started to put my piece in the middle, right? Like this. My piece. 4 of them, right? Right there in the middle, leaving kind of a hole in the middle. See it? And then my circle might have needed to be bigger. I did this last time too. So if your circle needs to be bigger, just go ahead and make a bigger circle and glue it onto it. I did this when we did our little, I don't know, maybe this. These are all kind of improvised things, you guys, and I work on it all week to try to figure out what I want to do with you all. But so, whoops. Make sure your circle's nice and big so you can fit all your petals around it, you know? What you're going to do is you're going to tuck the other petals between, you know, so these petals will go behind. You can even stick it kind of inside it. You see? Right? Just make your way around it. It's going to be cool, I swear. Running out of my glue stick. Great. Hopefully you have enough room for everything. So it looks to me like I'm struggling with getting all of mine in, so I'm just going to surround mine with peace for now. So the last row, because there's going to be 3 rows, the last row will be all of your joy. All of your joy is going to surround. It's up to you. I like to put the sorrow in the middle and then surround it in the joy. This is kind of, you get to make it your own, but you're going to fit everything that last, however you decide to do it. You could put all of your root all around the edge. You could put, it's just like a conceptual idea to place them wherever you feel called to. Playing with paper, playing with our memories, playing with our root, because with our root, we're able to create new ideas of these things that we're grieving, new, something I remember doing when Jackie was helping me with creating this. One of the things I loved doing at the end was I loved hugging it together to give it sort of a little bit of more zhuzh. This might take a minute. You might need to work on it a little bit. And then also, I'd like to add something to the middle, which you can take one of your pieces of scrap. I don't know if I'm going too fast. I probably am. Slow down a little bit. How do we know if it's too small? You'll know if it's too small if you can't get all the petals on there, you know, and if you have to cut a bigger circle and stick it on. I needed 2 circles, which isn't so bad. And then for your little central area of your lotus, go ahead and just take a piece of paper and maybe fold it over and fold it over again if you want. You can do this sort of like any way you want, but we're going to just kind of cut little slivers here to create like the center. I'm not using my words very well tonight. Yesterday was intense. And today, apparently, there's like 6 planets lined up or something. Okay, so once you kind of get the central thing, I always go like this. I just kind of mess it up. You can rip a couple off if make space. It's fine. Put it in your scrap. You never know. You never know what that scrap could become. And then we just put a little glue in the center. And then stuck this on there. Stick it on. And then you've got yourself a beautiful lotus flower. Mine's a lotus of peace. And again, you can make this your own. You can do whatever you want during the week if you want to add like some glitter to it, or just whatever you want to do, however you want to cultivate your piece. If you need to curl things a little more, or this is going to go on your board. This is one of your process pieces. And when you've seen if you've got yours, if you want to share, It might have been too annoying. That's okay too. Or you might have made something else with tears. Something else, like a simpler flower. The lotus is such an amazing, I mean, it's widely used for, yoga classes and meditation, and we think of the lotus, but the lotus literally does grow in poop and grow in mud, and it reaches for the sky, it reaches for the light. Everybody be thinking, I want you to know that on the webpage, on my webpage, amysteinberg.net, there's a link for the Garden of Good. And on that page is a little thing about if you want to share your fruit. Beautiful Angel Rose made me a little questionnaire for you, just so I can decide where to put you, if I want to put you in the beginning of our evening or toward the end, or how I want to do it. Please, please, please go and fill one of those out, and I will reach out to you and say, hey, can you share your fruit this week? And that would be amazing. So I would love to ask now that you make a donation to this whole thing, a love offering to the garden. Give to the garden. When you give to me, it just makes me feel so seen and valued and worth this time and this energy and this effort. And I really love, 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 love to do this. So give what you can. The suggested love offering is $20 to $30, but that's not, you don't have to, you can give way more than that. I'm never going to tell you not to give. I'm never going to hold you back. And speaking of being held back in any way, I wasn't going to do this today because I didn't have any letters, but today my mailbox came, and in my mailbox, I had two garden grams. Two, you guys, two. One is from Joellen, and I haven't opened it yet. Look at how pretty. And I know y'all got some you might want to share. Is it okay if I open it on here, Joellen? Oh my gosh, enjoy the garden. And it's just a tiny heart. It says, Amy sending you love. Look, you guys, it's tiny, teeny, itty bitty. It's going on my altar up here next to my amethyst. I love it. I'm putting this back in here. And Christy sent me, it was heavy. I was like, ooh, what's in this? And she wrote me, thank you for the gift of you. So sweet. I loved our first session. Thank you so much for all you do. And then this beautiful San Francesco, I don't know what it says, but it's from Italy. It's gotta be from Italy. Look at the little paper. It's got like basically the Garden of Good in it. I love it. Thank you. And it just makes my heart light up. And at the thrift store this week, I had so many great little finds for my dollhouse and also some stationery. So I'm going to be sending out some letters this week. And if you haven't added your name and your address to that wonderful thing that Lori set up for us. Lori's here. Shout out to Lori. So one more thing for us to do before we sort of go over our home play and have a closing poem from Lisa. Lisa's going to read us a poem that I found that I thought was perfect for the week of water, was our affirmation card. I am thinking about this concept all week. Oh, wait, that's in home play. Okay. My third affirmation card, mine says, I am peaceful knowing there is abundance everywhere. Because, the water heater going out and all of that like triggered financial insecurity. And then I got to remember that I am peace and there is abundance. There is more than enough. This water heater has lasted since 1995, you guys. Like, it is incredible. We have relit it multiple times and it's just time. It's just time to get a new one. So I am peaceful knowing there is abundance everywhere. This is mine. I have 3 now. Look at how beautiful these are. And I'm going to have my own little deck by the end of this year. So I encourage you to write, if you want to do it now, or if you want to do it this week, to take a moment to think, what is your affirmation from this week that is connected to your root? I am free to feel my feelings, if freedom is your word, something like that, an affirmation, an oracle. I am free. I know that I am free, whatever it is. Do that for yourself to add to your deck. If you want, remember, gardener's choice. I really appreciated that I went into the room where Reverend Christy Hardwick was, and she didn't feel like cutting today. So she drew some shapes that represented the joy and the sadness. And I thought that was really powerful. And I want you to know that you can come here with the book, without the book, with journal, without the journal. If you just want to watch me cut and paste and watch people, and just come hang out with us and feel the energy. It's all fucking good. All right. So, home play this week. It's not homework, it's home play, but it's stuff that's going to grow you even more. So, of course, the scraps, right? Now, I've been talking about jars. This is your first jar week. And I decided with Jackie, talking to Jackie about it. First of all, before I go on, also, I've been thinking about this map behind me. I want to give a big shout out to my partner, AJ. Everybody, taking me off spotlight just so AJ, if she's watching, she can see all of us giving her love for drilling our holes in our map. And I'll make a video that I can, so you can really see, so you can really see what it looks like. It's very cool. I did a collage and all this stuff. It's very cool. So the flow jar, what I want you to put in the flow jar is it's going to be called your flow of abundance jar. Okay, this is old school metaphysics, y'all. What I want you to do is throughout the week, put on little pieces of paper in this jar, in this flow of abundance jar, all the delicious, wonderful shit you want to manifest. Okay, get old school, get law of attraction on you. Okay, so for instance, here's a scrap of paper right here, right? I am going to put a brand new water heater. And then I am going to bless it. I'm going to kiss it. I'm going to trust and know that I'm getting this brand new water heater, and I'm going to put it in my jar. Okay. And you can decorate your jar if you want, or you can just have any old pickle jar, but it's your abundance jar. It's kind of reminds me of like a God box. If any of you are in the 12-step world, there's a God box where you put little papers in to give to God. This is just to affirm your abundance. I affirm and know that I have exactly what I need. And you can get weird. I want to go to Hawaii. I want to get old school, like law of attraction, like materialistic. I want a Lamborghini. Be silly. Have fun. See how much you can create, because it's all there for the taking. Thrift cycle. This was that whole idea of like, go thrifting. And if you don't want to go thrifting to get things, release some things. Be a part of that cycle of giving and receiving. Again, this is my therapy. My therapy is, with a therapist, but also at the thrift store. I love digging through the bins, seeing all the stories, seeing all the people. I make friends. I made friends with 2 young girls in the bins this week. It was really cool. I wrote add a flower with a question mark. If you want to add a flower to your board that we're building, feel free. Or if you want to decorate your board a little bit, have fun with your board. Roots and fruits. Keep in mind, like I said, all week I was thinking peace. All week I was pulling peace into the situation. I had an argument with someone, and I just kept saying, what would peace do? What would peace do? Peace would be like water. It would let go. It would allow. And then finally, I need you to save some cardboard, because next week is pets, and we're going to do something like this. We're going to make one of these pets or one of these animals to honor the animals of this beautiful, beautiful garden of earth. I like the kitty. I like kitties and birds, but look at the bear. And I just found this online, and I thought this is what we're going to do next week. So maybe you can take a screenshot, or I'll post this on our Facebook page, and you can decide which one you want to do, and we'll do that. That's going to be our like crafty thing next week. Okay. There's been a lot. There's been a lot tonight. So I'm going to ask that we just take a moment to honor all of the energy that's been cultivated, expressed, shared here tonight. And call in the power of healing, the power of presence, the power of love, knowing that it is all there is. It's truly all good. And that even the pain and the tears that we cry of grief are born of joy, some kind of joy, a feeling of love, a feeling of fear that comes from a knowing that love is ours to have. Love is ours to express. Love is ours to do, to be, to have. Amen? And I asked Lisa, so I'm going to spotlight Lisa Thank you so much for being so patient, everyone. I know we ran a little long this week. And thank you for staying. I can tell that you all are very like into this and dedicated, and it means a lot. So Lisa K, who has sent us all something, and she's just freaking amazing. I'm going to spotlight you and invite you to share us with us this poem.
Okay, the name of this poem is The Water is My Prayer, Collective Wild Swimmer Poem by Dawn Swimmer and wild swimmers from around the world. May it hold and buoy me when I sway and fall, wrapping me in its forgiving embrace. May joy be my favorite stroke as I glide through river, ocean, stream, or lagoon. May it bring me flow when I want to fight. May it help me find myself when I am lost. May I be like water and always find a way, even when doubt threatens to drown me. May it thrill and awe me and fill me with overflowing gratitude. May I be patient, like eternal river on its long journey to the sea. May I be wise, bountiful, and ruthless, like great ocean, to do what must be done. May I be carefree and surrendering like waterfall as it trusts and lets go into the unknown. May I simply be water, adaptive, flowing, flexible, soft yet determined, unapologetic for being what it is, as water is itself. I breathe with the earth, and the water is my prayer.
That was absolutely marvelous. So beautifully read and so perfect for tonight. Hands on our hearts, looking at each other. Let's send each other love as we go through this time of transition, internally, externally. Growing can be challenging, and Lisa had an urge to put her hands out as well, and I'm going to go with that as well. I also love what Karen Drucker taught me about giving love to the sides, giving love above you, and giving love below you. Yeah. And then back to yourself. And I'm going to press the outro song where you get to listen to that jam one more time. And then I'm going to hang out here for a few minutes and we can all unmute and just share anything we want. I love you and I hope to see you again next week. And just keep a watch on that Facebook group, man. That is so fun. I've been collecting your work all week. Send me pictures of your lotuses, send me a picture of your flower board, share your fruits, fill out one of those forms, and send some letters out to people. And I love you.
Slay. In the dark, gonna make good today. In the dark, gonna create, elevate, celebrate, and love. I'm Mamie from the GOG, Garden of Good Creativity. We get free, be me, work it effortlessly. Do what you love and then allow the prosperity. You got this. Make good, make it your own. You know you got the power in your mind, heart, body, and soul to grow dreams, grow faith, grow you. Create authentically in the garden of good. Live, and love. In a garden, gonna dig big and trust. In the garden, gonna